Enjoy staying in winter in the wood as we go searching for some wildlife. Hopefully we'll be tracking the elusive deer, and we should maybe see a few rabbits, maybe a fox, specifically. Also a fair few birds. Conditions today are perfect for tracking. There is no wind, so no scent is being carried. It's quite wet, so the floor is quite damp. Asking my foot slip a bit more. You have to worry about it slipping on a twig. Time it takes to find an animal. Because they are not exactly there aren't loads and loads and loads of them. Finding them not very easy. And there are 4 separate quadrants of the wood to search. Each one with its own unique challenges. This is a piece of interesting architecture, the wood. All the trees here have grown almost horizontally. Now this, well, it may look man-made in construction, it's just a combination of nature and animals coming together. When true trees are felled and everything, lots of the small pieces are just chucked around and kicked around. But obviously branches do fall off trees, either when a bird hits it or anyway. And then the leaves fall on top of it, and there's also a bit of bush in there as well. It could easily be used as a shelter for an animal. Hopefully we'll see something. We've just spotted the deer. We're going to see if we can pursue it. It was just heading across, just darting glimpse. The deer we're tracking may well have been using the human-made path that I'm now on to get around faster. Let's keep on this trail. Flocks of birds frequent the wood, as you can hear. As I was saying before, there are 4 main courses to the wood. Now, the quarter that we have seen most of the deer in, it appears in the Westcroft quadrant. The Westcroft quadrant is the one nearest the underpath, which takes you to the Westcroft area. Here we see the deer. We've been tracing it for a while now. This is our best opportunity to get a good glimpse. Shit, it's moving off. This is where the beauty of the wood is being destroyed. People come here and leave their litter on the ground. And the cigarettes, water bottle, broken glass. They don't care. But they're hot on the deer's trail. You can't stop.
There are two things that I can say about the deer that makes it easier to track. It's young, and it's a deer. It means it's going to stick to open paths. It can't push its way through brambles and nettles like we can. It also tries to stick to its home turf. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up with it again.
Probably won't show very well on the video, but what we have here are hoof tracks, which means we're going in the right direction.
This is the housing quadrant of the wood. Named so because it leads directly onto the housing estates. This area is enclosed by thick bush. It has a giant empty core where people have come and cut down the trees. It's also frequented by people who like to burn their newspapers, as we have stopped several times. This area, back in the summer, was more of an arid wasteland than anything else. So some of the trees had recently been thinned out, and basically what you see here, where all the long grass and plants are, there was nothing. Sprung back extremely well, but the majority of its population has been overthrown by large bramble bushes. This is the main entryway into the wood from the largest car park. Behind the slightly hazy fog. The leaves of autumn still visibly showing their colours. The wood itself is not large by any means. As you can see, for birds and animals, there's plenty of crab apples available. A extremely necessary food source, especially during the cold winter months when food is not as readily available, such as leaves and other vegetation. Even in the midst of winter, there's still plenty of growth. Many plants getting ready for next spring. This is the very beginnings of an area that we call the Shadowlands. It's so thick and dense, and the floor is completely covered with moss. It's hard to get through and even easier to get lost. This is the part of the wood that we call the thinking point. Although it isn't the actual centre of the wood, the circulation of the trees here is just so, well, I have no better words, central. I can't remember if I need to think, make a hard decision, often meditate. Summer, the canopy coverage here is perfect, with the occasional breakthrough of leaves, the shadows and patterns cast on the ground. We believe this tree was blown over in one of the heaviest storms we've had this year. Easy enough to climb.
That's all for our walk around the wood. It's been great. We saw the deer. We got captured footage of it, which is even better. Obviously, this may be one of my last winters coming here, as I choose as I may go on to university. But we'll catch up in the spring, and we'll hopefully catch the first bluebells of the season. Etai Hogosha.